Breaking news. What if I told you the Atlanta Falcons might be just one bad decision away from a disaster that could echo through the next decade? What if the name Kyle Pittz, yes, our generational tight end, was being whispered in trade talks behind closed doors? And what if Kirk Cousins, the man who was supposed to save us, is now at the center of a storm we didn't see coming? Falcons fans, this isn't just news. This is a warning. And you need to hear what's happening before it's too late. Are you sitting down, Falcons fans? Because what I'm about to tell you is going to hit hard, real hard. How much more heartbreak can this team give us before something truly changes? How many times do we have to watch the same nightmare repeat in a different jersey? Today, we're diving deep into something that feels unreal, something that could shake the very core of this team. Kirk Cousins trade rumors and the growing tension around Kyle Pittz, the guy we were all told would be the future. These aren't just silly headlines. What's being whispered in NFL meeting rooms and front offices is loud enough to send chills down every Falcons fan's spine. This is serious. This is real. And if you're tired of false promises, tired of seeing star players wasted, tired of feeling like the Falcons are stuck in quicksand while everyone else moves forward, then listen closely. Reports say the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, those guys, made a quiet but clear move. According to trusted insider Ian Rappaport, they reached out with one simple question. What would it take to get Kyle Pittz? Let that sink in. That's not a rumor. That's a warning shot. Now sure, publicly the Falcons say they're keeping Pittz. They've told us they believe in him, that he's part of the plan. But here's the part that terrifies me, and it should scare you too. Behind the scenes, the team isn't closing the door. They've said, and I quote, "If a good enough offer comes, we'll at least take some calls." Take some calls. That tiny phrase may sound harmless, but for loyal fans it feels like a gut punch. It's a crack in the foundation, a flicker of doubt. And once that door opens even a little, who knows what kind of disaster could come through. Let's be honest, Kyle Pittz hasn't been perfect. He hasn't been the superstar we all dreamed about when we took him fourth overall. But have we really seen his full potential? Think about it. Has Pittz ever had a consistent, high-level quarterback? Nope. Just a rotating door of average at best. It's no wonder he hasn't looked like a legend yet. He may not be what we thought he'd be, but he's also not a bust. He's in the middle, and that middle still holds massive promise, especially now. Because this year, we have a wild card, a glimmer of hope. Michael Penix Jr. Penix should have been on the field last season, and yeah, he had rookie struggles. But there's raw power in that arm. There's a hunger. And if he can build chemistry with Pittz, we might finally see fireworks. We've waited too long for this team to click, and I believe deep down that Penix and Pittz together could finally give us something to believe in. Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. Do you trust the team to keep Kyle Pittz, or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and rate your confidence in the Falcons this season from 1 to 10. Because ready or not, change is coming. All right, Falcons fans, and it's time for some tough love. Let's be real. Kyle Pittz has not looked good in his last 3 games. No spin, no excuses. Just cold, hard truth. He struggled. He looked off. He wasn't the game changer we hoped for, and for many fans, that's frustrating. Maybe even infuriating. But hold up. Don't give up on him just yet. Because I still believe, deep in my chest, I believe Kyle Pittz has something special. Something that hasn't been unlocked. Not yet. He can work the middle of the field, get those tough yards, and become a serious red zone weapon, something this team desperately needs. And here's the key. Michael Penix Jr. is going to need that type of player more than ever. He's young, he's still learning, and when the pressure hits, when the defense crashes down on him, he's going to need a safety valve, someone reliable, strong, and ready to bail him out. Kyle Pittz can be that guy. Think about it. Penix is entering his 2nd year, and the jump from rookie to year 2 is huge. The game starts to slow down. You begin to see the field differently. And if Pittz can stay healthy, stay focused, and stay connected with his quarterback, we might witness the breakout season we've all been waiting for. So let's stop jumping to trades. Let's stop writing players off. Let's do something simple. Let the season play out. If Pittz delivers, amazing. We ride that wave all the way to the playoffs. If he doesn't, fine. We consider options, trades, free agency, whatever the future holds. But for now, let him prove himself. On the field, with Penix. Together. Now, let's shift to something that might make your brain hurt. Kirk Cousins trade rumors. Again, I get it. I really do. You're tired of hearing about Kirk. Every week it's something new. But ESPN won't let it go, and now there's another wild rumor floating around. So here's what's being tossed around. The Browns. Yes, the Cleveland Browns. According to some insiders, there's a scenario where Cleveland would trade for Kirk Cousins, and somehow we'd end up with Kenny Pickett, a 6th-round pick in 2026, and some extra cash. Let's pause right there. Who in the world thinks this is a good deal? Kenny Pickett? The same guy who struggled in Pittsburgh? The same guy who might not even win the QB2 job in Cleveland behind Flacco, Shadir Sanders, or Dylan Gabriel? Let me say it loud and clear. I do not want Kenny Pickett. No thanks. If we're moving Kirk Cousins, then do it for real value. Draft picks? Sure. Cash? Maybe. But not another broken QB project. We've already lived that life too many times. This whole thing feels like the Browns are collecting quarterbacks like they're trading cards. But we're not here to help Cleveland hoard QBs. We're here to build a winning team. Our team. What do you think, Falcons fans? Is it time to move on from Kirk Cousins? Would you accept a trade for draft picks only? Or do you think we should ride with him one more year? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're at it, tell me this. Is Kyle Pitts worth one more chance? Or are you ready to move on? Let the battle of opinions begin. Down. I do not want Kenny Pickett anywhere near the Falcons' quarterback room. Period. Now take a second and look at that Browns quarterback depth chart. What even is that? Their QB1 is Joe Flacco, who might as well be 85 in NFL years. He's a veteran, sure, but if your franchise is still hanging its hopes on him in 2025, good luck, Cleveland. You're going to need it. But let's not get lost in the mess over there. This isn't about Cleveland. This is about us, the Atlanta Falcons, and more specifically, Kirk Cousins. Let's circle back. Could Cousins be better than anyone the Browns currently have? Probably. Definitely better than Pickett. That's not saying much, though. If you ask me straight up, would I rather keep Kirk Cousins as a backup or take Kenny Pickett? I wouldn't even blink. I'd take Kirk every single time. Pickett's performance has been shaky at best, and his future looks dim. The Browns trading for him, then turning around and signing Flacco and drafting 2 more QBs? What are they doing over there? Collecting quarterbacks like Pokemon cards? Insanity. But let's keep the focus on Atlanta. Let's talk about real trade ideas for Cousins. What's the best move for us? Here's one that actually makes sense. Send Cousins back to where it all began. Minnesota. Yep. Ship him back to the Vikings, where he spent years under center. Let him go home, play behind rookie J.J. McCarthy, and finish out his career as a mentor, a veteran voice in the locker room. No pressure, no controversy. In return, the Falcons could receive a 2026 5th-round pick, a 2027 7th-round pick, and some cash considerations. That's not a blockbuster, but it's smart, strategic, and most importantly, it clears out the quarterback room here in Atlanta. We'd finally move forward, clean slate. Look, I actually like this deal. Not because it's sentimental, but because it makes sense. We gave up a 1st-rounder to grab James Pierce Jr., so we're light on future picks. Any chance we have to restock, we take it, especially if it helps us reset this offense. And then, here comes the next twist. Another ESPN idea, still with the Vikings. This time, the deal is Sam Howell and some cash go to the Falcons. Kirk Cousins goes to Minnesota. Again. Now listen, I'm not jumping for joy over this one, but it's not terrible. Sam Howell is what I'd call a decent backup. He's not great, not terrible. Somewhere in the middle, which, compared to some of the chaos we've seen under center, isn't the worst thing. But let's be real. Minnesota wouldn't do this because they need Cousins. They'd do it because of nostalgia, a final ride, a familiar face, a farewell tour in purple and gold. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Let them take Cousins back one last time. Let us focus on building for the future, because keeping one foot in the past never wins championships. So what's your move, Falcons fans? Should we trade Kirk Cousins back to Minnesota and load up on draft picks? Or do we keep him as a backup and wait for Pittz to rise? And what about Sam Howell? Would you take that deal? Let's settle this. Drop your answers in the comments below and tell me which deal you would pull the trigger on. Let's be real for a second. If I had to choose between Sam Howell and someone like Mac Jones or Tyrod Taylor, I'm taking Howell. But let's not get confused here. We're not talking about franchise QBs. We're talking about backup plans. And when it comes to Kirk Cousins, that's the harsh reality now. See, Cousins still wants to be a starter. He still believes he can lead a team. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. He's aging. He's coming off a major injury. And the league isn't exactly banging on the door to hand out multi-year contracts to 36-year-old quarterbacks with damaged wheels. That's the cold truth. He does have a no-trade clause, which gives him some control. But come on, if he really looks at the big picture, the writing is on the wall. The end is near, and he knows it. Now let me ask you something. And yeah, I know you've heard this question what feels like 1,000,000 times. Where will Kirk Cousins play in 2025? It's the question that won't go away, and to be honest, I think the answer is boring, but likely. He stays in Atlanta as a backup, unless something crazy happens. The only real second option? Minnesota. The old stomping grounds. That door is still open, just barely. Beyond those two, no real shot, no other teams are calling, no wild rumors, no mystery landing spots. Just silence. So here's my prediction. Kirk Cousins is on the Falcons roster in Week 1. He won't be traded. He won't be starting anywhere else. Unless, and this is a big if, Michael Penix Jr. goes down with an injury. Only then, out of desperation, could another team call. That's the wild card. Injuries shake up everything. And if that happens, boom, Kirk's value skyrockets overnight. That's actually a great point, and shout out to my guy Reed for that one. He just dropped that into my ear like a pro. Sometimes the best moves happen when the world isn't watching. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment right now and tell me. Do you think Kirk Cousins should stay in Atlanta as a backup, or would you rather ship him out and make room for someone new? Let's hear what the real fans think. This is our team, our future, and our voice matters.